All right, we're out tonight at a local festival in Somerville, South Carolina. And so tonight what we're going to be going through is some things we're thinking about in this environment. This is Rosie. She's about 4 months old. And so you can do this with your puppy, you can do this with your adult dog, but you definitely want to refer to Pack Talk Podcast episode number 28 so that you know what phase and step of your training progression that you're in. But at this point in training, we're past remote collar conditioning. We are finishing up socialization work and distraction work. Now, socialization work and distraction work are two different things, but you can accomplish them at the same time. Socialization work's giving your dog positive experiences in close proximity to new people, places, and things. So obviously we're walking through this crowd right now. She's doing a great job walking next to me on a nice loose leash, nice and calm as we navigate the crowd. So I can say good and randomly give her a reward as we go. And what that's going to do is continue to build up positive reinforcement history with all these different activities and events going on. Now the distraction work piece of the coin, so with this we have two pieces of the coin. First we have the socialization work, which is giving those good positive experiences in close proximity to people, places, and things. The other side of the coin is the distraction work. And with distraction work, what we're focused on is making sure that we proof all of her behaviors anywhere that she goes. So right now we're doing the loose leash walk. We're making sure that as we walk through this environment that she maintains a nice loose leash despite what's going on around her. So with that, we're going to be following our fundamental training protocols, which means if she does the right thing, we're going to say good. We're going to randomly reward her. If she does the wrong thing, we're going to say no. We're going to hold her accountable with that, for that, with an appropriate correction. That could be a leash correction, that could be a remote collar correction, depending on what's going on at the time. So anyway, you can see both sides of those coins. We're working both of those at the same time. We're proofing everything as we walk around, as we move around. So again, you can come out to events like this that are in your local town, and you can focus on building up these types of behaviors as you go, okay? And the more repetitions of this that you can do, the better, right? So this is part of our maintenance protocols, which is, once we get done with our overall training progression, again, Pack Talk Podcast episode 28 covers that whole training progression in detail, as does one of our videos on our YouTube channel under the live. It's one of our live videos. We did a whiteboard session explaining all of our different training steps in sequential order, why we do them, and all the details for those. So with that being said, once you get to the maintenance phase of your training progression, hey, how's it going? She's doing a good job. Once we get to the maintenance phase of our training progression, this is the kind of stuff we're going to continue to do for the rest of the dog's life. Now, when we're working on it actively in training, of course, we're going to be doing it pretty frequently. However, as time goes on, we won't have to do it that frequently because we're maintaining it. Now, as I move through this crowd right here, she's struggling to go ahead a little bit. So all I'm going to do, use a little bit of leash guidance, bring her back to my left side, and then I'm going to reward her right here because we're teaching her how to maneuver through a crowd. So what I can do is use a food lure to help me get her through that crowd, help her to understand to stay next to me on my left side with my left leg as we maneuver through the crowd. And then as she gets better and better at that, obviously we won't need to be doing it that much. But again, we're still building up all these behaviors. We're making her the best dog that we can. So we're going to use all of the fundamental parts of training. We can take a step back in our training if we need to. Our overall goal here is to build up her behaviors, make them the best that we can make them, right? So on my left here, I'm about to walk through this little bit of crowded area, so I'll demonstrate. If I know that I'm getting close to the crowd, I'll just grab a food lure. I can bring it down to her. As I walk through the crowd, I can lure her through that and then give her the food reward, right? So what that does is over time, builds up her understanding, builds up her reinforcement history of maintaining a nice loose leash on my left side. Also, as we maneuver through the crowd, we might be moving left, we might be moving right. And so what she needs to do is maintain good distance to my left leg. So remember that dogs are nonverbal beings. So as we're going through these environments, it's super loud, right? We got live music, we got people talking, there's a train track nearby, there's been a couple trains going by while we're here. So all this is super loud, she can't hear us. So what's she gonna do? She's gonna default to her nonverbal communication, her nonverbal behaviors. And so what we want her to do is read this left leg right here. Good. We want her to read our left hand, because those are going to be signals to her, okay? And once we get right back up here, I'm going to show you real quick a quick drill that you can use to start to teach her to follow that left leg and follow that left hand. And it's super simple. You can use food lures with it, but once you get it done, it becomes a non-factor for them to follow you no matter what direction you're moving, right? So as I'm going up here, all I'm going to do to start practicing this, take a food lure in my left hand, I can start to back up. Notice how she follows that food lure around, then I can maneuver a different way. Again, I can take a food lure, my left hand, notice how it stays, my hand is staying close to my left leg. So as I back up, the hand comes down to my left leg, and as I go forward, she's reading my hand, she's reading my leg, she wants to stay right here next to me, okay? So she's doing a great job, but again, you can throw those little bit of drills into it as you go, and what will happen over time is you'll notice that she's reading your body language more appropriately, she's following your left leg, she's following your left hand. You don't really have to think about what she's doing because she's just staying in proper position with you because of the reinforcement history that you've built up. So we've got a big crowd up here coming up, so I'll do another example in this crowd. And even if the crowd slows down like this, if you slow down, you do want to see her adjust pace to you. So I just slowed down, we want to see her adjust pace to us. If I get around these people right here and I decide to speed up, we do want to see her speed up with us as we're adjusting our pace, right? So notice how I had to go left right here, now I'm going right. She should be responding pretty good to me because of the drills that we've done. Let's do another one real quick. So we have a food lure, we bring her this way, right to the left leg, we can walk forward, good to go right there. Now if I was to go over here and do it without a food lure, we'd be testing her to see how she responds to it. So notice there's no food lure, she's still responding to that signal because of the repetitions that we've been doing. So that's what we're looking for as we go through these different types of sessions with her. Give us a like if you guys have any questions. Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time.